Hello guys, welcome to your lower body focused Power Pilates series. We're gonna be working the glutes, the hamstrings, inner and outer thighs. There's a big emphasis on the calves today, and of course we have that bonus core work that we always have in Pilates. The only thing you need is your own body weight. You're more than welcome to add in a resistance band or ankle weights, but I promise you're gonna feel a really deep burn with body weight only. Let's get right into it. Come to your back, all the way down to your mat. And then once you're there, we're gonna hug the knees in and just put a hand on each knee so the arms are kind of suspended. And then we're gonna let the knees open apart, so inner thighs face up. Feel that nice stretch through the hips. And then we're gonna keep the legs wide at first, circle them in, meeting through center, and then pressing them away again. Big, slow circles with the legs. The great thing about Pilates is we're gonna finish our workout with a really beautiful burn and activation through the muscles. So you're gonna get a good workout in, but we're also getting mobility work at the exact same time. So we're working the muscles, we're mobilizing the joints. Wherever you are, pause, and then reverse the direction of your circles. Connecting to your breath here as well. The breath is gonna be a really amazing tool for us to call on as things become challenging. And remember, when we are breathing deeply, we're also connecting to our core. And the more core activation we have, ultimately the more support the exercise has. One more big circle. And then the next time you're through center, you can just set those feet down. We want the feet hip distance apart in parallel underneath the knees. And then we want the hands on either side of the hips. Go ahead and flatten your back. That's the first piece in our bridge lift. And then the next time you exhale at the mouth, we're gonna tuck hips a little bit more, and we're gonna curl ourselves all the way up into bridge. Hips are high, ribs and belly are low, shoulders are proud, and then we'll roll back down. Good, we want equal weight in those feet. Exhale, peel yourself up. Connecting to the glute max, the back of the booty. And then lower on that inhale. Bridge is one of my favorite exercises. It's really incredible at isolating the glutes. So when you compare this to a squat, where oftentimes our quads take over and it's hard to isolate the booty, this one's really, really nice because by the end of it, you'll feel such a deep burn in those glutes. And we're also stretching out the front of the body, so we're releasing tension through the hip flexors. We're stretching out the quads, connecting to core. Good, just 3 more. Flatten your back or imprint your spine at the bottom of that bridge each time. Remember, we're lifting from hip bones and pelvis, not belly and ribs or the chest. And then the next time your hips are lifted, you're gonna hold them there, relax through the face, lift an inch higher, and I want you to keep the hips completely still and lifted as we open the knees apart. And then bring the knees back to parallel. Knees open and close. If the hips drop as the knees open, maybe don't open the knees as far, or take it a little slower so you can maintain that stability through those hip bones. Good, feeling the outer glute turn on, inner thighs, bring those knees back to parallel. The whole time I want you to bring your attention to your core as well, flexing those abs. Last 2. And last 1. Knees are back together, and we're gonna pulse it out. My pulses are always slower than traditional ones and maybe slower than naturally you want to move, but I want you to feel each rep in those muscles. Most of that weight is in your heels. Your toes are fairly light. Give me 3. All the way to the top, 2. One more big lift. Hold for a second. And then you can widen through the sits bones, roll all the way down. Give your knees a quick hug to stretch out the back of the body. And then we're gonna make our way to our left shoulder or your left side body. So take your time coming down. And we wanna be extra mindful of our alignment here because it's gonna really support us in such a deeper way when everything is in that proper form and alignment. So we want hip in line with that shoulder. And I like to bring my hands to my ribs or my belly and literally just like pull them back. So you feel that activation and that support through the core. I like to put a little weight in my top hand to limit any rocking as the legs begin to move. And you can have your head in your hand, or it might feel more supportive to have it on your arm, whatever you prefer. Legs are right in front of you, so they're not at a diagonal. They're right in front of you, kind of like you're creating a chair shape with the body. Toes are pointed. From here, let's take an inhale. Exhale, top leg is gonna lift up and back. And then you're just gonna bring it to a hover. Exhale, up and back. Inhale, down. Now it's easy in this movement to rock and roll yourself back as the leg moves, but everything is staying completely still besides that moving leg. So hip bones stay stacked as you begin to activate through that outer glute. And by the end of these side lying series, we should definitely feel activation and a burn through our obliques. So we're working that waist and those hips. Good. And then the next time your leg is down and parallel with the bottom, we're gonna straighten it in front of the body. And then we're gonna flex our foot, feel that stretch in the back of the leg. And then keeping it just at hip height, you're gonna drive that straight leg back. And make sure thigh goes slightly behind that hip bone so you feel your glute max. And then from here, toes are pointed, reaching them long. Bring the leg forward again, just above the bottom. Flex and kick it back. Try not to rock, connect to your core. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And again, use that top hand if you want to help with your stability. Good, really articulating that flexion and extension through your ankle. It's gonna feel different when we switch to a flexed foot. Good, belly to spine. As you exhale, press the leg back. This is our second last one. And then the next time your leg is back in line with the torso, maybe press your heel 1 inch behind the body, flex as much as you can. We're gonna do a little lift and drop. Just above hip height and drop. Get really present with these movements. Mind to muscle connections are always our priority. Here's that oblique burn. You got it. 4, 3, 2, one more nice big lift. Good, and then you can bend the knee forward and set it all the way down. Awesome work. Let's press ourselves up. Keep your legs bent to the right side of you. We're gonna take our mermaid stretch. So give your shoulders a big roll. We're gonna take an inhale. Exhale, left arm reaches up and over. Maybe your gaze lifts. And then let's cartwheel the hands through center on the inhale. Bring hand or forearm to the mat. Maybe your gaze goes down. Good, let's float the hands through center. Let's swing the legs around, and we're gonna do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So you are on your right side body this time. Take that extra moment to align yourself, shoulders and hips. Shoulders and hips. Ribs are back. Legs are bent to 90, toes pointed. Let's take a big inhale to prep. And when you're ready, exhale, top leg lifts up and back. And bring it to a hover. Take everything really slow. You can always take a peek at your screen to reference my speed. And it's interesting because even after years of practicing Pilates, really simple movements like this, body weight movements, are still really effective and challenging when I'm present through them. There's always areas we can level up in just through that awareness. You can always check in with that top hip bone. You can literally feel the rotation happening, and just make sure you're not rocking back, and make sure that bottom leg isn't lifting as the top moves. Good, there's 3. Belly to spine. One more lift. Drop it back just above the bottom. You're gonna straighten your leg. You're gonna flex your foot as much as you can. And then exhale, straight leg presses back. Press it back far enough that you feel the back of the booty activate. Inhale, toes point, pull it forward. Exhale, flex, abs and the heel. Good, and again, put a little pressure forward if you feel like you're rocking. Inhale through the nose, come back to the breath. Exhale out the mouth. These slower series also give us space to connect to our breath. This is a perfect opportunity to start to train that conscious breath. Good, keep going like this. Can you flex that heel a little more as you drive it back? Can you point as much as you can through those toes as you pull forward? Good. One more like this, and then the next time that leg is back, you're gonna keep the heel flexed. Take a moment, press the heel back a little bit, extend the leg further away from the midline. Let's find our lifts. And drop. Lift and drop. Exhale and inhale. Good, we have 4 and 3. Stay present, breathe into the burn, 2. One more lift. Good, and go ahead and set that leg all the way down. We're gonna prop ourselves up, legs stay bent to the left side of the body, and we're gonna do our mermaid stretch on this side. Shoulders back, inhale to prep, exhale up and over. Good, lengthening from fingertips to that hip bone. And then swim it through center. Exhale to the right. Big stretch for that underarm area. And that waist that definitely worked hard in that last series. Awesome. We are gonna flip ourselves over to tabletop. And then from here, you can either stay on your hands, or it might feel more supportive, especially if your wrists are a little bit sensitive or feeling a little weaker today, to come all the way down to your forearms. Gaze is around your hands, so we don't want to be looking at the legs here. We want to keep the neck long. And then from here, we're going to stretch our right leg out. Make sure left hip is above that left knee. Toes are pointed through that right leg. Let's lift straight leg up and tap toes on the mat. Exhale, straight leg lifts. Squeeze the back of the booty. Inhale and lower. We have a neutral spine the whole time, so we're not arching the back to lift the leg, but we are connecting to the core as the glute lifts the leg up. Good, 4. Try not to tip to the left. 3. Good, reach those toes away and up. Last one, keep that leg lifted. We want to lock the thigh into place. Try not to drop it. We're going to flex the heel, bend the knee, kick the glute. Point the toes, stretch the leg out long. Bend and flex, point and stretch. Just 3 more. Good, we're only doing 5 reps of these hamstring curls. Reconnect with that belly and core engagement. Keep that thigh lifted, you got it. Flex and bend the knee to 90 degrees. Hold for a moment, little pulses, halfway down, all the way up. Inhale, drop, exhale, squeeze. Good. Breathe, soften the jaw. Give me 4. All the way up, 3. Square off the hips, 2. 1 more big lift. And then go ahead, set the knee down. You can either find a child's pose or a seated position, whatever feels more restorative to you. If you're on your wrists, you can roll them out. If you're on your shoulders, you can roll them out. Big energizing breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Awesome work. We're gonna get right into that opposite side so we can finish strong, and then we only have 1 more mini series after and we are all done. So stick with me. We're gonna feel so incredible once it's done. Setting yourselves back up, whether you're on your forearms, your hands, whatever feels better. And this time we're gonna be moving our left leg. So let's extend the leg behind us, square off your hips, point the toes, exhale, lift the leg. Inhale, tap the toes. Good. Stay present for it. We want to lean into the burn. That's what we showed up for. That's how we see those changes in our bodies. That's how we challenge ourselves. Good, 3 more. Make sure you're lifting high enough to feel the burn, but not too high where you're getting into your lower back. The next time that leg is lifted, you're gonna lock it into place. Thigh stays still, foot flexes, knee bends, kick the glute. Point the toe, stretch the leg as you flex the abs. Bend and flex. Point and stretch. Make sure that chest stays lifted. We don't want it collapsing down. Good, 2 more. Feel the hamstrings here, articulate, flexion through the ankle. The next time that knee is bent to 90, pause, reconnect with your form. Halfway down, all the way up. Inhale, squeeze glute max, exhale. You got it. Last 5. Try not to tip to the right. 4, 3, little higher, 2. One more big donkey kick up, and go ahead and reset. Whether that's child's pose, grabbing a sip of water, or just breathing in a seated position like me. And then when you feel ready, we have one last thing to do to lock all of that into place. So come on down to your back with those knees bent. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, letting go of any tightness or tension. Hands are on either side of you. And we're just gonna walk our heels 1 inch closer to the glutes, almost so you could brush the heels with your fingertips, depending on how long your arms are. And then from here, we're gonna come onto the balls of our feet. So we're lifting our heels off the mat like you're wearing a pair of stilettos. We're gonna tuck our hips under, we're gonna roll up into our bridge. So just like we did at the beginning of our practice, you can make any adjustments you need to once you're there. The only difference is the heels are elevated. And then from here, we're gonna lower all the way down. Tuck hips under, peel yourself up, and then lower back down. Good, the heels are gonna stay lifted the whole time. This is a really nice stretch for our ankle as well in the front of the foot. And you're definitely gonna feel those calves when we're done. You might notice as well, now that the heels are lifted, that we're able to get a little higher. You literally have that elevation, which might mean you can connect to your glutes a little more. And we're also opening up the front of the body in a deeper way. You're gonna give me 4 more like this, and if you shift or move after a few reps, take those adjustments whenever you need to. Good, here's that burn in the lower legs. Last 2. Don't let that belly or chest balloon up. Keep it anchored. Last 1, you're gonna hold at the top. Heels stay lifted. Let's open the knees without dropping the hips. Pull through center. And to overcompensate, sometimes I like to think about the hips pressing up as the knees open so they don't drop. Good. And by the end of this, if you're shaking, that's a good sign. It means you're working hard. Take it slow though. Feel the outer glutes, feel that nice engagement. Squeeze inner thighs, connect to core. Breathe. You can always use your hands as support as well. They're there. You might as well use them. Press them into the mat 2. Give me 1 more hip abduction. Knees come back together. Heels are still lifted. Let's pulse it out. Down and up. Halfway down, all the way up. You got it. Make sure you're flattening that crease in the hips. So get hips up an extra inch for 4. Breathe. 3, 2, all the way up. Last 1, hold right there. And then roll the hips down. Set those heels down after. It might feel good to flex through the feet and point, giving yourself some pedals. You can also hug the knees into the chest. You could rock from one side of the body to the other. Good. And then from here, you're gonna set your feet down. Bring your arms to T or a little bit wider. We're gonna cross our left ankle over our right knee. We want that foot flexed. And on your next exhale, you're gonna tip over to the right. And you can always look over your left shoulder. Should feel like a really nice stretch through that side body. Hold here for a full breath cycle, relaxing the weight of the legs closer to the mat. And then you're gonna come through center. Keep the legs crossed, lift them to tabletop, interlace hands to the back of that right thigh, or even the side of the leg. You could also use a yoga strap here if it's not in your range of motion. Take a big inhale to prep. On that exhale, guide your right knee 1 inch closer to the nose as the left knee presses away. Good. And then you're gonna set the feet down, uncross the legs, recross right over left, arms in T, exhale, tip to the left. Take that little stretch for the neck as well. Feel the weight of the legs relaxing as some of that tension starts to melt away. And then you're gonna come to your back, legs stay crossed, legs in tabletop. Good, flex your feet and breathe. It's also a nice stretch for the back here as well, feeling that rounded shape. Inhale through the nose, big breath, hold it at the top. Exhale, start to guide left knee closer, right knee presses away. Good, and when that feels like a little relief for you, you can uncross the legs and you can make your way up to a seated position, or you can just chill out on your mat. But we are all done. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope that you feel strong. I'm sure you feel the burn as I do. And if you ever have any questions, never hesitate to reach out. You can leave me a comment. You could also message me on Instagram, faithshannon_. And I would absolutely love and appreciate so much if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next practice. Have a wonderful rest of your day.